thing to her, and we are here to ask for your help to find out if anybody knows anything, anybody saw anything, and anybody can share that information so we can figure out what happened to her exactly, and we can find whoever did this and get them off the street. I have talked to this child's mother, and of course she is devastated. Her family is devastated. Her little girl is gone. So we need your help. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor, and then I'm going to turn it over from there to Lieutenant Stephen Hope and our homicide division to give you more details. But again, we are asking for your help. Mayor.
Thank you, Chief Satterwhite. I echo the Chief's words of asking Houstonians to help us find the murderer of this 12-year-old little girl found in one of our neighborhoods. I've spoken to her mother. She's devastated, actually holding out hope that it's not her daughter, which I'll let the lieutenant address the circumstances. I will say it makes me angry that we have dangerous criminals on the streets of Houston. Too often we rearrest repeat violent offenders, but we won't rest. And this is an example of why public safety will continue to be our highest priority in my administration and working with HPD. Toughest thing I will ever do as a mayor is call up the victim's mother and assure her that HPD, its rank and file, its leadership, the city's doing everything they can to find the perpetrator of this heinous crime. Horrible. As a parent, a grandfather, it's just unimaginable what the family's going through. I spoke with her. She's devastated. And all you can do is depend on your faith and let the police do their work and have someone arrested as soon as possible. Another day I'll talk about why we need additional staffing and the issue of the repeat violent offenders. But today we're focused on this investigation, and I yield to Lieutenant Hope.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here this evening. I'm Lieutenant Hope with the Houston Police Department's Homicide Division. I'm here to talk to you about an incident that happened around 6 a.m. this morning. A citizen called 911 regarding a body seen in the shallow water of the bayou near 400 West Rankin Road in the Houston's North Belt area. Houston's Homicide Division, along with the assistance of the Houston Department's dive team and the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office, were able to recover that body out of the shallow water there. Harris County's Medical Examiner's Office is completing an official identification of the victim, but we do have reason to believe that it's going to be a 12-year-old female that was snuck out of her residence late last night and eventually ended up in that waterway at 400 West Rankin Road. We're investigating the circumstances surrounding her leaving the residence and ending up being discovered there deceased. There is surveillance video, and the detectives are working diligently to follow up on the leads that they do have currently. But we are asking that anyone with any knowledge of this incident or any information surrounding this incident, please call and help our investigators find the perpetrator of this incident. They can contact the Houston Police Department's Homicide Division at 713-308-3600, or they can call anonymously to the Houston Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS, 713-222-8477. Thank you again, and please help us out. Any questions?
We're not identifying the girl at this point. I just think it might help with tips, people knowing relevant information about her.
Right, so the juvenile victim in this case, we're not going to be releasing the name until the official identification of the victim, and even then circumstances surrounding this case might prevent us from doing so.
Can you tell us, you gave us the area where she was found, if people were out in an area between, where did she leave from and what general geography?
So she left an apartment complex actually pretty close to Rankin Road at the evening there, and she was found in the small waterway bayou right next to Rankin Road.
And what time do you think she left?
Any time last night, a little bit after 10, anytime after 10 p.m.
Do we think the location discovered was the location that she was killed?
So the actual circumstances surrounding what her body's location was is still under investigation, and you can imagine with all the forensic evidence that would be needed, that's going to be taking quite a bit of time, and this is a very new scene. So we're not going to assume one way or the other just yet.
So what condition was the body found in?
Deceased.
Right, but how do we know, were there injuries?
So the actual nature of how her body was found is something that is under investigation. The medical examiner's office is going to be doing a very thorough look into it forensically, and that does take a lot of time. I don't want to speak ahead of what they're going to be finding or have.
Wouldn't it, I guess, it help people with tips if they knew how this young lady died?
It could, however, again, I don't want to step in front of what the medical examiner's office has to offer for us.
You said a dive team was called, but were they needed, or was this water?
So anytime a body's found in waterway, we will call for the dive team. This was shallow water, but it is their expertise to be able to go in and make sure that not only the body, but any other evidence in that waterway would be found.
You said this young girl snuck out of her house. I guess, what do you mean by that? Was she communicating with someone online, to your knowledge?
So right now we have looking into whatever communications that could have happened. We're not sure how that was, but we have reason to believe that the family did not know that she was leaving the house. Correct.
And we're, saying murder here, we're saying homicide. Can you elaborate on why we think foul play?
So 12-year-old found in a waterway near the residence where she lives is in and of itself very suspicious, and that's why we're kind of asking for people's help in this one.
So how do we know she didn't just trip and fall in?
Like I said, we're leaving that up to whatever information we can get in. Anything would be helpful to us.
Chief or Mayor, can you talk about the resources that are deployed, or sir, if you know the number of people investigating this, or
So the medical examiner's office, it has several people that came out and went around for forensic analysis. We did have our CSU team out there. We have our homicide detectives working on it as well. So there's several entities that are working together in facet with this.
Was the body found fully clothed?
So the actual nature of the body and the way she was is under investigation. We're still looking into how she was found.
Can you say how far the body was found from her residence?
I do not know the exact distance, but it actually was very close.
So it would be walkable?
Yes.
Okay, is there any reason to believe that she got into a vehicle at any time? There might be a vehicle.
I do not know yet.
Are there any leads on any suspects as of this time?
So right now, like I said, we're still looking into communications that were there and any other information that we could find from it. There is surveillance video that we're reviewing as well. So any information from the public, any other information that anyone could help would be really, really helpful.
And she was never reported missing. She left.
She was not reported missing, no.
Race?
As white female. Yeah.
We'll take one more question.
Mayor Whitmire, why did you decide to attend this briefing today?
My concern for the family and to support HPD. We were at a hurricane preparation press conference when we were notified, so this is where I felt like I needed to be. I'm angry that we have circumstances that would lead to the loss of a 12-year-old. I think any of us that have children, grandchildren, it's the worst horror for our family. And let me tell you what, this is a somber headquarters that I walked into. You have a fire chief here, police chief, all the support of our first responders, but this is a sad moment for the city of Houston. So I'd ask everyone to keep the family in their prayers. It's a very tough job on my part to call the mother and let her know that we're doing everything we can. So that's why I wanted to be here to support the family, the police, and let Houstonians know that we're not going to rest until this is resolved, and all the bad actors will be held accountable. And also, it's an opportunity for me to emphasize we need additional staffing HPD is stretched way too thin. Houston Fire is stretched too thin. So public safety will continue to be my highest priority. And that's why I'm here.
We'll do it in Spanish. Commander Garcia.
Thank you, Chief. Hoy estamos hablando con los medios de difusión sobre un caso muy triste, muy trágico, donde una joven, una niña de 12 años de edad fue encontrada muerta aproximadamente a las 6:15 de esta mañana en la cuadra 400 de la calle West Rankin Road. Nuestros policías fueron llamados a ese lugar y la encontraron, desgraciadamente estaba fallecida en un pequeño arroyo en el área. Detectives de la División de Homicidios, tanto como miembros del equipo de buceo, estuvieron presentes para extraer el cuerpo. Estamos trabajando con la oficina del médico forense para determinar exactamente la causa de muerte y otra evidencia que se puede obtener sobre este caso. Como acaban de escuchar ahorita, tanto el alcalde Whitmire como el jefe de la policía, Satterwhite, y el detective Hope, todo el mundo está trabajando en este caso, todo el mundo queremos resolver este caso. Le pedimos al público que recen por esta familia, que oren por esta familia, y que si alguien sabe algo sobre este caso, esta niña en el área, vive en el área, salió aproximadamente, pensamos que pudo haber salido en algún tiempo después de las 10 de la mañana y fue encontrada a las 6:15, a las 10 de la noche y fue encontrada a las 6:15 de la mañana. Si alguien en esa área vio algo, por favor, háblenle a la División de Homicidios al 713-308-3600 o a Crime Stoppers, que ustedes pueden hablar anónimamente y puede haber una recompensa, al 713-222-TIPS. Muchas gracias. Chief.
¿Le puedo hacer una pregunta?
Claro que sí.
¿Me puede decir cuál era la raza de la persona?
En este momento es una joven de raza blanca.
No se saben causas hasta este momento, no hay alguna pista que nos pueda llevar a...
Lo que sí acaba de decir el detective es de que en el complejo donde vive esta joven, un vecino tenía una cámara del hogar de seguridad y estamos investigando esa evidencia, estamos investigando otra evidencia del área.
Digo, por las razones que están ustedes manejando, este tipo de delito es algo muy diferente a otro tipo de asesinatos.
Bueno, es trágico porque es una niña de 12 años de edad y la evidencia indica que fue un asesinato. ¿Okay? Gracias.
Stephen, Stephen, and last name's Hope, Hope.
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
For like my reporting, so there's reason to believe that they're.
You're probably the only person that understood what I just said.
Exactly.
Mr. García,
Dígame.
can I have your name? Su nombre y su...
Soy el comandante Héctor García.